Hello, I'm Kelvin Ross, Editor-in-Chief of Enlit Europe, and I'm here in Milan at Enlit Europe with Thomas Neuenhahn of Siemens Energy, and we're going to be talking about a really innovative project that Siemens Energy is working on in Leipzig. Thomas, thanks for joining today. Now, this project that you're working on is in collaboration with Stadwerke Leipzig. Can you tell us a bit about it and what its objectives are?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, thanks for having me. And the project is called Löwe, and it just abbreviates Leipzig operates energy without emissions. And the objective is really to have green energy supply in terms of electricity, heat and fuels. And so we are currently developing this jointly with Stadwerke Leipzig. So they are the main driver behind this, and we are supporting them. And currently we are building a hydrogen-ready CHP power plant, which is currently in the erection phase. Last month we had the topping phase, which was a quite nice ceremony to really see that decarbonisation is happening in hardware and not just on PowerPoint slides. And but it's not just a hydrogen-ready CHP. It's a heat storage. We are working also there on solar thermal. The buildings will be covered with PV, and we are also looking to generate the hydrogen on site and to use this actually the waste heat from the electrolysers process for district heating. And it's really a perfect site to show the energy transition, because it's a former coal-fired power plant site, which has a nice historical building, which now gets turned into the Leipzig Center for Hydrogen. And that's mainly what this project is about, to try out all these technologies and to combine them to supply energy in a secure way when there's no wind and sun, and also to leverage the opportunities of sector coupling.
Mm-hmm. And how will the project play into the wider decarbonisation of the city of Leipzig?
So, I think the city of Leipzig has 600,000 inhabitants, so it's a quite huge task because you have to decarbonize all these energy needs in terms of electricity, heat and fuel. And therefore, the project would be one cornerstone in the strategy, and when we really experience the technologies and how to further improve them, then that would be the concept to roll it out to decarbonize the whole city.
And you talked about the plant being hydrogen compatible. How and why is that so important?
It's so important because you have to start now to build the CHP power plants hydrogen ready, and therefore you need to have the power plant ready in terms of auxiliary system, peripheral systems, and also from fire protection and so forth. We actually just recently have our hydrogen concept from Siemens Energy certified by TÜV Süd. So that's now really proven. And the second part is for sure the hydrogen gas turbine. And there also the Leipzig project is a key part of the Siemens Energy strategy. So we have a project for a smaller turbine with the SGT400, which is a 14 megawatt electric turbine, which we will demonstrate in the next 2 years to run on 100% hydrogen, which would be kind of world record to do this with a DLE combustion system. And Leipzig in 25 would then be the next steps to decarbonize the fleet until 2030.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the heat pump before. How important is the heat pump, and what exactly does it do in the wider project?
It's an essential part for the decarbonization. So because you have the CHPs, which in the first place needed to secure electric energy supply and generating heat as well. But if power prices are low, then you would not operate your CHP because it's not making economically sense. So then the heat pump would be the optimal solution to generate the heat, and so therefore we see the heat pump is essential. We also see for this project, as the district heating network in Leipzig operates with more than 100 degrees Celsius in the inflow, that the heat pump we are using could go up to even 150 degrees, and so it would be a perfect match to make this happen, which is also a kind of novelty and not really common for large applications. Therefore, that's essential part in the decarbonization to also electrify and also to combine both technologies, because or combining both technologies would be related to the electrolyzer, because we plan to have an electrolyzer on site to generate the hydrogen for the power plant, but also for other purposes. So the plant will get connected to a hydrogen pipeline and with it to the hydrogen network in the Leipzig area and be part of the German hydrogen backbone. And if you produce hydrogen, 25% normally is wasted as heat which get flared in the air, so you only use 75%. Combining the electrolyzer with the heat pump will actually raise this energy usage to 90%. And that's why the heat pump is so important, because combining, really doing this, leveraging the sector coupling, changes the whole hydrogen equation, because normally you go from power to hydrogen to power, everybody talks 20-30%, does it make sense? But if you look at this equation in terms of sector coupling and leveraging the heat, which will be more of 50% of our energy we'll use in the net zero scenario, then it's an important asset to serve, or also an important customer to serve. So therefore we would go in the electrolysers process above 90%, the CHP process is above 90%, and then you get above 80%, compared to the 20-30% which are currently always in the discussion. So that's really a game changer, bringing in this heat pump. And then last but not least, if you combine a CHP with a heat pump, one operates good at high power prices, the other at low power prices. So when you make a business case with an investment decision, you always struggle which forecast you take. Sometimes power price is a little bit up, sometimes a little bit low. But with combining both technologies, you kind of mitigate the risk, because if power prices are higher, you would operate the CHP more, which would create a better return on investment, compensating the heat pump. And if the power prices would turn out to be lower, then it's vice versa. So I think it's a perfect combination to roll out and really to demonstrate it in Leipzig and to show how it works.
Well, it's a fascinating project. We were really excited to hear about it when you first announced it, and we'll be following it along the way, and we look forward to having you back another time to give us an update.
Yes, for sure.
But for now, Thomas, thanks very much for joining today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.